everyone, this is Rachel over at Moonlight Library, and I am here today for my mid-year Freakout, mid-year summer, mid-year reading Freakout. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe because I would love to have you as a part of my channel. Okay, so I have prepared a list. Let's see. Mid-year book freakout. That's what this is called. You probably knew that from clicking on the thing. Anywho, question number 1. Best book you've read so far in 2022. The best book I've read so far in 2022, let's give it up to 2 books. One book that I just finished, because I wrote this list and I wrote one book and then I finished another book and I was like, wait a second, but you know, I haven't spoken about this book yet. So the first book, my original choice, was A Visit from the Goon Squad, still kind of is, by Jennifer Egan. This book follows multiple different people that are associated with these 2 primary people. It's a music industry sort of book, and you follow a lot of different styles of stories. Each one feels specifically like they don't feel like the same story over and over again from different perspectives, and you do get to revisit certain characters, and it's fun. At one point you're on a safari, at another point you are like this man who fishes in New York City, and it's kind of gross. And at one point there's a PowerPoint presentation. This is crazy. So definitely pick that one up. 5 stars for me. The next one is The 3-Body Problem by Cixin Liu. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce this one. I should probably look that up. But this is if you enjoy physics, if you enjoy aliens, if you enjoy mathematics and gaming, and it is everything. The sci-fi book is wild, and it's in a series too, so if you love this, you can read more. I just finished this yesterday, and it is probably the best book I've read all year. It will 100% be on my top 10 list, or like top whatever books of the year. That is 3-Body Problem. Definitely pick that one up. Best sequel you've read so far in 2022. I have 2 choices. I have 2 for this as well. The first one is The Box in the Woods by Maureen Johnson. I just finished this one last month. I really enjoyed the Truly Devious series, and it was nice to have a book in this series. This is the 4th one that is not following the original crime. Instead, we're getting like a summer camp sort of vibe. So that was a lot of fun. The next one would definitely be, let me move these books as I go through them. The next one would be Down Among the Sticks and Bones. I finally picked up the second one. This is Seanan McGuire, the Wayward Children series. I had read the first one 2 years ago and then reread it this year, and read this one and the third one as well. I would say that I really did enjoy this one. It was wonderful. You're following the actual, some of the children from the beginning. It's Jack and Jill. You get their backstory, and it is very interesting, really weird, and you get to kind of uncover who these characters really are. So for new releases you haven't read yet but want to, the first one that I'm going to mention is Hanya Yanagihara's To Paradise. I bought this one. I pre-ordered this one, and then I still haven't read it. It's just been sitting on the shelf. It is a very heavy book, but I loved A Little Life, and I'm sure that I will love this one too. I believe this one follows 3 different time periods, and I'm really not sure exactly. It's an alternative history though, and it's set in 1893, and New York is part of the Free States, where people may live with and love whomever they please. And then it's also 1993, and it's Manhattan during the AIDS epidemic. And then it's 2093, and there's plagues and such. Sounds really interesting. Sounds epic. The next one that I'm going to mention is The Candy House by Jennifer Egan. It's the sequel to Visit from the Goon Squad. Very interested in that. And then Sea of Tranquility by Emily St. John Mandel. I guess all of her books, Glass Hotel and Station 11, which I've read Station 11, all follow kind of in the same universe sort of thing. And so I'm really interested to read Sea of Tranquility. I do want to read Glass Hotel first though. Then lastly, Devil House by John Darnielle. Like, I'm right now reading Universal Harvester. I don't know too much about Devil House, but I think it's a haunted house book, and it just has a really cool cover, so can you blame me? Most anticipated release for the second half of the year. I've written down, I got patterns going on here. So 9 Liars by Maureen Johnson. This is the 5th one in the Truly Devious series. I can't wait for it. Maybe I'm on a kick. And the other one is What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher. I read The Hollow Places, and I really enjoyed that. And I just kind of want to read another T. Kingfisher. Oh, it's a retelling of The Fall of the House of Usher, Edgar Allan Poe's. Biggest disappointment. Oh God, I'm sorry. So it's Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover. I had at this point read one Colleen Hoover, and I was like, I don't know if you call this a disappointment. I just didn't like this book. I didn't think there was enough chemistry, enough intrigue. I didn't really care about the tension. I don't really like the gritty romance, like, ooh, we can't be together. Like, it's not for me. It's not for me. And I know that, especially now. So there you go. The next one is Biggest Surprise. I'm sorry, all my books right now are going to be Colleen Hoover. I'm going to seem like Colleen Hoover stamp page. Biggest Surprise was Verity. I'd seen it everywhere. I know that a lot of people love it. Some people hate it. I thought it was really interesting. It was thrilling for me. I don't really read thrillers. I read mysteries most of the time. I realized that this might be like the only book that I can classify as a thriller that I think I've read. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. So, and then favorite new author would be Neil deGrasse Tyson. I've read 2 of his books this year, and I love him. He wrote Cosmic Queries, and he also wrote Astrophysics for People in a Hurry. So good. I'm really interested. I love physics. I love reading about mathematics, astrophysics. Super interesting, super weird. And then my other person would be Colleen Hoover. I read 3 of her books. Surprisingly, I like 2 of them, so that was, news for me. Hey, this is actually editing, Rachel. I forgot 2 categories. Favorite new fictional crush, which has to be Hades from Lore Olympus. I just really enjoy his character. He's total hottie. And favorite new character. And I think I didn't answer this because I didn't really have anyone. Like maybe someone from Lore Olympus, which I started reading in January. But I really don't think I have a favorite new character, and that might be from the fact that I don't typically read many like series or anything like that. And series that I do read, it's not like I'm obsessed with any of the characters specifically. So it's not like Stevie Bell from Truly Devious, or I don't even know, the characters from the 3 Body Problem, or any of the characters from the Wayward Children series. Like, I just don't have a favorite character. Will I ever? Who knows? See me next year when I'm answering this question again, and maybe hopefully I have a new favorite character by then. So, a book that made me cry this year would be It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. This is definitely, I don't know, maybe you don't have a soul if you don't cry, because it is definitely a cryable book. It is quite sad. Sad book. What can I say? It's trigger warning. It's about abuse. Obviously, it's gonna hit you where it really hurts. So, book that made you happy, Home Time by Campbell White, I think it is. Yeah, Campbell White. And I love this book. I am obsessed with this book. I've read it before, but it just makes me so happy. It's a graphic novel and it's really beautiful. I don't know if you can see, but like, I just opened that page. It is wonderful. I just bought the second one too, and I cannot wait for it. Can't wait for it. Most beautiful book you've bought so far this year. I was going to use this for what books do you need to read by the end of the year, so just see this as my most beautiful and a book I need to read by the end of the year, and that is The Priority of the Orange Tree. It is gorgeous. I just didn't pull a book for this one, whoopsies. But you know what? This is really pretty. But also it's fantasy. Priority. The Priory of the Orange Tree. I really want to say priority. My mouth is like priority. Like add the extra letters. Why? I don't know. I couldn't tell you in the least bit. And it's so big. I need to read big books this year. So along the lines of needing to read big books, we are going to what books do you need to read by the end of the year? That book that I just showed you. But also 13 and a Half Lives of Captain Blue Bear. This is another fantasy book. It's kind of whimsical, and it seems like a lot of people that read this are like, it feels like a children's book, but it's not. It's more for adults who haven't lost their imagination and their whimsy and their love for everything. So maybe this will be a happy time for me. If I had read this by now, maybe it would have been my happy book. That is that for that. I hope you enjoyed my mid-year book Freakout, because I was freaking out. Yeah. Tell me what you plan on reading over the summer or for the rest of the year. I would love to hear it. Or let me know if you've read any of these books that I listed, because I want to hear that too. Okay. Thank you.